Gabby, and it is time to get about some books. Are you ready? Because I am about time, right?
So I have recorded this video probably like 10 times, and every time I go to edit it on my iMovie or whatever the app is on my phone, or not my phone, on my computer, it clears out and then the video file wipes out. So hopefully this is the last time I'm going to have to record this, and hopefully I will get it to work. So there are 3 things that are involved in this haul. There is my bookcase.club, 2 books that I got from them, and then I also have Bookoutlet on here, and then I have 2 books that I got the other day at BAM, which is Books A Million. So without further ado, here we go. So the first one that I have for you, and then I also have a I want to giveaway, another giveaway on Goodreads. So I'll do that one first. This one is Sour Lake or The Beast by Bruce McCandless, and it basically just follows a town that is discovering mutilated bodies that are drained of all their blood, and it seems like it's just going to be one of those creepy books, and I honestly don't know too much about it. I haven't heard anything about it, but it seemed really interesting, and who knows, it could be one of those books that I just really like. So I'm pretty excited to jump into this. Probably will not be anytime soon. My online class just started, and oh my goodness. Lucky Harbor, and it's 3 novels all in one, and it is written by Jill Shelvis. So there's one in there that's called Lucky in Love, At Last, Forever and a Day. So it's pretty much a compilation. Clearly I've been on like this contemporary novel kick. Don't know why, but there you go. A Certain Summer by Patricia Beard. So this one is another contemporary. I don't really know too much about it other than it takes place after a war. So my guess is that it's going to follow a love story, or maybe even just life outside of what happens after war, or if there is something more to it. Like I said, I don't know too much about half of these books that are on here, so I apologize in advance if I'm just quickly saying what type of genre it is. Hopefully you can forgive me. Be Safe, I Love You by Kara Hoffman, and this one is another story that follows a woman who comes back after she's been enlisted and drafted, or not drafted, but deployed. She comes back, and now she's home. Funny story about this one is that I accidentally bought 2 copies of it, so one of the copies is going to my best friend, and I've already like okayed it with her that she's getting it, but it has a lot of praise on the back, which, I mean, you can't always go with that, because I mean, anybody could get somebody to say nice things about their book, so who knows. If you've heard about it, let me know what you thought. Okay, so let me just quickly jump to the 2 that I got from Bookcase Club. I'm not too sure that after my first 3 months that I'm going to stick with it, just because these 2 books I wasn't too thrilled with, and the last ones, although they seemed interesting enough, I wasn't overly fond with them. I did change my book theme, so maybe that will do it. I switched to the thriller, and obviously this was more of that paranormal romance, but it wasn't what I expected it to be. So the first one is Fated, and this one is written by Rebecca Zanetti, and the other one is The Tear Collector by Patrick Jones. They're both vampire novel or books, so they both kind of have a twist on it. This one, the vampires feed off of people's tears and sorrows, and then this one, I don't even remember what this one's totally about, but this one is another vampire story, so clearly they had a theme going with them, which is cool. That's awesome. But again, I don't know if I can really get into these. I'm very like picky with my vampire books, but you know, this one could be interesting because it definitely has a good twist on the whole vampire thing, because there's not like, ooh, I'm gonna suck your blood and all that stuff. 3 Graves Full, and this is written by Jamie Mason, and this, I believe, is just a thriller of some sort. So I guess it's been referred to or like compared to Hitchcock, which could be cool in book form since I do like a lot of Hitchcock's movies. And yeah, okay, so there's that one. Then I have Pieces of Happily Ever After by Irene Zutel. Obviously, I'm on that big like happy-go-lucky sunshines and rainbows because that's just how I get in the wintertime. Then I have, and that's gone, it fell. Okay, so after I just said that I'm like Sunshine and Lollipops, of course, the next one that I have is Second Life, and this one is written by S.J. Watson, and the biggest reason why I got this book was because it is the same author of Before I Go to Sleep. Although I did not read the book, I did watch the movie. My friend does have the book, so I'm going to potentially borrow that from her. She doesn't know it yet, but I am. I'm coming for it. It's Discretion. This is a thriller. This one is written by Alison Leota. So I have this one, The Rental Sister by Jeff Backhaus, and this one is more of one of those optimistic books that you, I guess, don't realize that it's going to be optimistic, but there's that one. Then I have Sibs, written by F. Paul Wilson. To the best of my knowledge, I believe it's kind of like a sister's murdered, and then the other sister kind of has that split personality. At least that's what I'm remembering. And if I'm completely, totally wrong, I apologize. But this is clearly going to be a thriller. Another Night, Another Day by Sarah Rayner. This was another scratch and dent. And this one you can definitely tell is a scratch and dent because of that. I was very unhappy about that, but you know what? This, I believe, was only like 89 cents. So, for being only 89 cents, you cannot go wrong with that. This is a contemporary, and it's, you know, 3 people are crying out for help, and it could be a tearjerker potentially, and who knows if it is. If it is, it is. Real Vampires Don't Wear Size 6 by Gary Bartlett, and it just follows a vampire who obviously doesn't wear a size 6, and it's kind of like a comedy within a book, and it could be a really interesting movie. But I'm pretty excited to read this one. I've actually been eyeballing this one since it came out, I believe, so I'm pretty excited about this one. The Appetite of Girls by Pamela Moses, and I've just been seeing a lot of people on Goodreads talking about this one. Of course, I don't know too much about it, but because it's been talked about and I keep seeing it pop up on my recommended list, I just like had to have it. So here it is. Then I have Shoe Addicts Anonymous by Beth Arvison. I have another one of her books. I have not read it yet, but because I just like getting books from the same authors, here we go. This is what I got. Firelight Girls by Kaya McLaurin. This again is another contemporary. I think it's kind of like about friendship and sunshine and lollipops and all that. So I have this one, Another Piece of My Heart by Jane Green. It just seems like one of those cutesy little books that kind of reminded me like it's going to have that feel of P.S. I Love You and Love Rosie by Cecilia Ahern, but it could be completely different or it could even be better. Who knows? And I also went to BAM for 2 reasons. One reason is that I, on Book Outlet, won a giveaway for the second book that's written by Aline Hamilton. So because of that, I had to go and buy the first one so that I could read the first one first. So I did get Revel of Sands, and this one is Aline Hamilton. I have seen a lot of booktubers talking about it, and they said it was a really good book. So I'm pretty excited. I also have been talking about how I wanted to buy this book just because of all the praise it's been getting, and I also just like how pretty the book is. Like, I actually might keep this book when I'm finished. The inside's not as pretty, but the outside of it, it's just, I can't even hold a book. It's just really pretty. So I have this one, and the second one is coming in the mail hopefully soon. I went on giveaway, so I'll have that one to go over. And then the last one that I got, so I already had this one at one point, but then I decided that I wasn't going to finish it. However, after all of the whole like clown scandal and everything, I kind of got back into this like groove of, ooh, you know, I really want to read It by Stephen King. So I went and bought It by Stephen King, and I forgot how enormous it is. But this one, it just follows the children that live in, Derry, and it kind of like jumps back and forth between their childhood and their adulthood, because eventually all the children move, and then something happens where all of the events are happening again. So all of the children who are now adults, they all start going back, and I think it's because one of them kills themselves or commits suicide, but they don't really believe that that's what it is. They think that it's happening again. So obviously, if you've seen the movie, you kind of know the general gist of it, but the book is a lot different. I think when I had first had it, I got it when I was in high school, and I probably only got to about here. It is, or actually, maybe I got to like a good, I mean, I was a good chunk in, well, in my high school brain, I was a good chunk in, but clearly that's like this is kindergarten and this is graduation. You have a long way to go. So hopefully I can tackle this at some point, or this might be a book that I read next year around Halloween time and just make it my ultimate goal that this is the only book I read. I mean, it is, I think it's like 1,000, hold on, let's see how much this version is. So this version has 1,153 pages. So that's a pretty hefty book, and I'm pretty excited about this one. So that is my quick little haul video. Hopefully it wasn't too crazy and all over the place and whatever. I am going to quickly record another video just so I can get that up and running, because I do have my pathetic wrap up to do, and then my TBR, which I already completed one. So I'm pretty excited about that one, and I'm almost done with the other one. So I'm on a roll. So see ya. Bye.